and wiping down carts and baskets after each use, reserving dedicated shopping hours for our most vulnerable guests, providing masks and gloves to our team members, and offering contactless shopping options through the Target app, like Drive Up and same-day delivery. We are here for you now more than ever, and your health and safety is our highest priority. Learn more at target.com/a-bullseye-view.
New Dunkin' Refreshers. Vibrant fruit flavors like strawberry, dragon fruit, and peach passion fruit. B vitamins and energy from green tea. All under 200 calories. Order ahead via the Dunkin' app for a contactless way to order, pay, and pick up in the drive-thru. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer.
Amazon is hiring near you. Earn a competitive wage and start as soon as 7 days. No resume or experience required. Health and safety are a top priority with all of Amazon's roles and sites. Amazon is taking precautions in their buildings to keep people healthy. Go to amazon.com/apply. That's amazon.com/apply. Amazon is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey everybody, it's your girl, Shelly Show Williams, Philly's Oprah, host and executive producer of Single on a Saturday Night. And guess what? I've teamed up with DJ Kid Disco. He is the king of the podcast, and we have Zoom Your Podcast Masterclass. Have you ever wanted to start a podcast, learn how to be a Zoom professional, throw a virtual party? Now is the perfect time to learn all about it in Zoom Your Podcast. Go to ShellyShowWilliams.com or go to Instagram at ShellyShowWilliams or at DJ Kid Disco. DM us. Find out more information. This class is a must-take class. Hey everybody, it's Shelly Show Williams, Philly's Oprah, executive producer of Urban Expressions, Single on a Saturday Night, but I am a business, social media, and media coach. And if you're looking to show up on social media with a purpose, I have a course for you. Have you been struggling as an entrepreneur trying to figure out how to get people to engage, how to get people to buy, how to get people just to see you on social media? I have just the course for you. Please go to ShellyShowWilliams.com to find out more.
WGFB-FM radio.
So are you ready?
Yeah. How it used to be. Something for everyone. 24/7, 365.
Yo, what's good? This is Tracy Lee, and you already know I gets down with the get down, man. Grown Folks Radio all day.
Hi, everybody. This is Cynda Williams, and I am the co-host of the Melanated Morning Show and the host of the PPC Radio Show. And you are listening to Grown Folks Radio. Radio.
Don't you love that?
I do. Hello, everyone.
Good morning. I'm just
There you are. I just found you.
Everything together so that you can see the social media posts. And there we are. All right. Boom. Okay. So, let's start from the top.
Social media, I have just the course for you.
We know you get it. We know that you get it.
Yeah. I got it.
Let's start from the beginning. Let's start with the vaccine.
Okay.
Yesterday in Olive Branch, Mississippi. I actually know somebody via the internet who lives in Olive Branch. Anyway, nice retired couple. Mm-hmm. So they have the new version, the latest version, the Moderna version, the one that doesn't take very much to store.
Mm-hmm.
You can just put that in your regular house freezer and or refrigerator, they said, if it's cold.
No, it's got to be 20 below, at least 20 below. Mm-hmm.
That's the Pfizer, but
No, that has to be like 70 below. The other one has to have a 20 below zero or 20 below freezing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, which I guess most typical freezers in hospitals and on-site places have.
Well, they said you could use it in your house.
If you have the right kind of freezer.
Yeah, well, but it's out, so.
Yeah, they also announced the next group of people that are going to be getting it. It's the people over, is it 75? Yeah, people over 75 and essential workers, including grocery store workers and frontline workers. They're getting it now, and it can't come too soon because I'm telling you, people. Just over the weekend, I know of at least 4 more people that have passed away just this weekend. Matter of fact, one of them, I'd been speaking to this person about a movie we're going to do, and this is a young person.
Wow.
And that day, that was Wednesday, that day, they found out their mom had gotten it. Their 41-year-old mom had gotten COVID, and by Saturday she was gone. No health issues, nothing. Gone.
Wow.
It's just, and my brother, it was funny yesterday. I mean, more ironic than funny. He was driving to Indiana because my mom, we don't know how long she's going to be with us, but she's taking a trip on out. And so my brother was coming to try to see her, and he was flipping out on, we do the Marco Polo where you can like leave messages for each other. And he was like, nobody's wearing a mask. Nowhere. They're not. As soon as he got into Indiana, he's like, they just refuse. What is wrong? And I was like, because I told him, I said, were you coming? People are dropping like flies. Do not touch. Do not, wear your mask. Wear 2 masks. Be safe.
It seems like the Trump-oriented states just don't get it. They really don't get it.
It doesn't matter who's dying around them. It's like they losing family, friends, and I don't know what they're calling it. It's so strange, but people got to live their lives, but it is unfortunate because the choices that they make affect so many people. I mean, okay, let's say worst case, the masks don't work. Let's say that might be a possibility, but we don't know, right? One way or another, we just don't know, right? Why would you take a chance? You know what I'm saying? Let's say maybe it doesn't help, but maybe it does. So why would you choose, well, it might not help, so I'm not going to. Why would you make that choice? Especially when you're dealing with somebody beyond yourself. It's not just you.
Plus, you don't know who's vaccinated and who ain't.
No, we haven't even got to the vaccinations yet. True. They're not even here.
True.
So that's going to take, they're saying, Trump's administration is saying by spring, everybody will have one. Biden's trying to say by fall, everybody might have one. So, you still, especially for people that don't have symptoms, you still can kill somebody. So be uncomfortable and wear the dang on thing.
Speaking of, hey, there's the wifey.
Hi, Carmen.
There's Earl. What up, Earl? Earl, I like that video he sent me. Sent me a DJ Cassidy pass it on type of John. Pass the mic. You gotta check that out one day on YouTube. See Breeze. It's really entertaining.
Okay.
He does, and he gets all these different artists, old school artists together, and they just go from your home to their home to their home, through Zoom. And he does one with funk, and then he does another one with R&B, and he does another one with hip hop. All from back in the day. It's really cool.
Very cool.
So Verlin, what's going on now? Me and this cat go all the way back to Verlin. We go all the way back to middle school. What else, Smack? Yeah. So let's move on because there's a serious cyber attack that took place. Actually, come to find out, they've been doing this crap for months, but the United States finally locked it
Admitting
down.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, and his own Secretary of State, Pompeo, says we know that it's definitely the Russians.
Mm-hmm.
What does Boo Boo the Fool do?
What does he do?
It wasn't Russia, it was China. He's such an idiot. Your own people are telling you.
He has never cared about what anybody says. He only cares about what his gut tells him. Doesn't, it really doesn't matter what anyone says or who they are. And he doesn't trust anyone but his gut, which last time I know, guts are very important, but just basic facts.
No, I think it's that he don't want to snitch on his homies. Like, damn, they ain't got you, cuz I thought we was gonna be out of here.
Oh, that's true.
He know that ain't. He knows it's not no daggone China. Come on, China like.
You're right about that. I mean, snitches never have. I mean, people that are not stitches, rather, they don't ever give in. They never admit the truth. Never.
Right, he can't. He can, that's his boss. You know what I mean? Come on, he can't snitch on his people. That's what that's all about. I don't even think that has anything to do with delusion or nothing of the sort. Nah, he can't snitch. Especially now, he gotta get that bread together.
That's true.
He still gotta pay his people.
Yep, you're right.
And let's move forward just a tad. Just a tad.
Before we go too far, though, this is it's back before the cyber thing. The new fast-moving COVID strain. You heard about this?
In the UK, yeah.
It's in the UK, and so they've nobody's supposed to be flying in or out from there because it's even faster. The heck? How much faster can this thing go?
They said that this winter was not going to be a pretty one. They said the stuff that's in store that's coming. I guess that's why the world pretty much was like, go ahead, have your fun in the summertime. Have your cookouts and your pool parties. Because come Christmas time, shit get ready to get real. And it did. You think the first wave was something.
Well, that's how it's typically been. I mean, I heard somebody speak, and I don't remember which person. I listened to a lot of stuff, and they were saying this isn't new. This is what the Earth goes through. The Earth has natural disasters, and this is, well, some people believe this is man-made. I don't know, but this has happened multiple times. It's just we have evolved so much that we've been able to protect ourselves, and we would have been able to protect ourselves if we had somebody in the government that actually understood anything at all. We would not have had the difficulties. We would have had it. We wouldn't have had the difficulties that we're having if they'd have just followed the guidelines that Barack Obama and them came up with when they dealt with a virus before.
Well, I don't think the cases numbers would have been as high, but I think they still would have been high because of this whole free society mentality. People say you can't do martial law. Speaking of martial law.
Yes, that's so much. Lord, what is wrong with this man?
You knew where I was going, right?
Yes, and his buddy Flynn. What the heck?
What is wrong with this fool?
Literally having conversations about martial law so that the military had to come out and say, we don't get involved with elections, so don't
the
even
generals
go
came
there.
out quick. It was like, no. We ain't here for that. Nah. We vote just like everybody else. Nah.
Exactly.
What is wrong with these people?
I don't know, man.
And where does he get his numbers? Oh yeah, martial law has been done 64 times. How you know that, cuz?
Because that's what came to his mind when he said it. He don't know no numbers. He don't know no numbers. He literally just says, "Oh, this sounds good. 3 billion." You know, he doesn't know.
They gonna try to hold on to the very last minute. Now they're talking about the day of the the day of the actual vote. They're gonna try to block it. For what? Even if you did any of that, it's still not gonna put this fool back. He lost.
He lost.
Yo,
I think the thing that probably gets at him more than anything else is the Supreme Court. You know, and the court system, because they were like, nah, you know, yeah, we might have the same belief system when it comes to certain conservative ideas or super over the top ideas, but this is just too far.
he really thought they was gonna save him. That's why he put them in place.
That's why they fought so hard to put them in place when they did, because he's like, you know, I know there's going to be issues, so let me just protect myself this way, because I can't get out of office, because if I'm out of office, I'm going to go to jail.
And guess what? Those pardons, they're only federal.
I know.
The Southern District of New York can't wait for that ass to become citizen Trump. All that money he didn't stole from, well, he didn't steal it. They gave it to him, the American fools.
Yeah, yeah, he did give it to him, and the thing is, I mean, they gave it to him, and the thing is, it was there in the fine print what the money was for, so so they can't like be mad because they just didn't read.
Okay, he got each and every last one of them. Well, he gonna need it for bail money now. Because yeah, and if you think Biden gonna pardon you, you got another thing coming. Biden ain't gonna really look in his direction. What?
I don't know. Biden is kind of conciliatory. I have a feeling he's still trying to bring these two sides together, and I just don't think that that's going to happen. I don't care. I mean, the people that have already shifted away from Trump have already done it. Those that are still with him are going to be with him, and they're going to believe his lies because they just chose to. And they're not going to switch over now. I don't know. It's going to take a long time for this fissure, is that the word, to mend. It's going to take a long time. And
I don't see what's the point. Who cares? Let them believe. They can believe that asshole for the rest of their lives. Who gives it? Goddamn.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They believe what they want to believe, and no amount of kowtowing to them is going to change their minds. Well, I'm presidential and I'm going to do this and I'm going to, they don't like, you're a predator. You're all the lies that they've come up about him. You know, they're just going to keep calling him names. They're going to stop, and they're never going to trust him. They're never going to trust the government because they've chosen to get in bed with a liar that they know. I mean, it's just like, I mean, I hate to compare him to Hitler because Hitler was a very smart, brilliant person, but I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying it's not the same thing, but it is the same thing in that they're both charismatic, very charismatic, populist people. And so many people in that country got behind a obviously insane man and believed in him because he was just that charismatic.
Same as Jim Jones.
It took a long time for people. Well, actually, it took death. It took a lot of people dying off. You know, their children. You know,
the purple juice, the purple Kool-Aid.
That's it, you know. It's just the way.
What up, Russell King?
Being nature.
I'm sorry. Light the land. What's going on? Yeah, Verlin, he gonna need some bail money.
So listen here. Speaking of bail money, I would like to. I'm not proud of it, but I'm happy to say that I'm not proud of it because it took too long. But I'm happy to say a deal has been reached, and it looks like the latest stimulus package will go through. And here are a bit of the details. It's a close to $1 trillion, like $900 billion deal. Looks like all Americans will get a check. Everybody who got a $1,200 check, you're going to get another check probably in January, early January. It's going to be $600, but I don't know what that's going to do, but it's better than nothing. That's what I'm hearing everybody's. Some people are like, what am I going to do, 600? Some people say, hey, it's better than nothing. So those who are on unemployment, it will be because unemployment is about to run out for a lot of folks, especially on the pandemic. The PUA, ends on the 26th of December, which is this Saturday coming. So it will be extended for at least 4 more months, and that means that new applicants can apply. And new applicants, I don't know how it's working from state to state, but if you live in Pennsylvania, this I know for a fact, you can backdate it. Now, one thing I didn't hear in that discussion about the unemployment, I didn't hear anything about retroactive, and
They said this morning I heard that there will be no back pay.
I kind of figured that with such a small amount. I kind of figured that.
No back pay.
Bastards. I kind of figured that because I didn't even hear it, I'm like, well, damn. So we just was struggling for that little bit. All right, whatever. So moving forward, you get $300 a month, and you get the $600 stimulus. Now, according to Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and President-elect Biden even said this. I don't believe it, but we'll see it when it happens. Oh, that's just for now. To bail us out of Christmas and moving forward once we take care of everything. Around February, we'll get another one. We'll see.
Everything that depends on Georgia, honestly. It depends on Georgia. So, and even then, it's going to be tight because it's such a close. There's no big time majority in the House. If we did get Georgia, there would be no big time majority there. It's very tight. It's very close. So it's going to be difficult.
Well, I think it'll be a little bit easier because then the power will change and Mitch McConnell will become the minority leader and Chuck Schumer will become the majority leader in the Senate.
But you still got to have the numbers, though.
Well, you'll have the numbers then because the same shenanigans that Mitch the bitch used to was pulling to not vote on stuff. So now Chuck Schumer will have the majority. So now he can say, we're going to vote on this. This whole game that Nancy was playing the holdout to begin with. She was holding out, hoping that Biden, would take the presidency, which he did. And she was holding out because she didn't want to give Trump an edge. And meanwhile, people are starving. So screw her. In the meantime, then she came back and she says, oh, well, maybe we can wait till after Christmas, meaning after January 5th, waiting for the Georgia race. So now you can take the House and the Senate, hopefully, keyword, hopefully. And then you can run your $2 trillion ridiculous package. Because I'm going to be real with you. Some of that, I've read some of that stuff she was talking about in the $2 trillion package was just ridiculous. Ridiculous. Like,
yeah, I mean, politicians are politicians, though, right? Yeah. That's what they do. That's their deal is to get the most that they can. It's like I really believe they forget that there are people out there, not numbers. It's so abstract, when you're sitting in a big White House, or your job looking at each other, you forget that there are people that you are representing. And You know, that they're suffering. They really are. All of us, you know, blue, red, it doesn't matter. Purple. Everybody is having a hard time except for the 1% that has made, I can't remember how many trillions of dollars that they have made off of this time. You
Wow.
know, there's like, I think, is it 8 million more people in poverty now?
I can believe
And there's eight, I think it's 8 million more people in poverty since March. And then, but that 1% made, I can't remember how many, if you know, let us know how many trillions of dollars on this. It's just the way it stays. It's the way it is. It's the way it continues. And, you know, that's why your individual walk is so important. You know, it's so important.
What do you mean by your? I know what you. I think I know what you're talking about, but can you elaborate a little bit on your individual walk?
Well, I mean, I believe in, you know, supporting those people that support your agenda, your own personal agenda, right? But I don't, because they say that our economy is broken and it's gonna be this and it's gonna be that and in all negative way. I personally cannot choose to go along with that. I personally got to say, okay, that's them, that's the world. I choose not to put my mind there because I have plans and goals, and I'm going to keep moving forward in those plans and goals, no matter what's happening in the economy. If that 1% can do that well, I can do as well as I want to do if I personally choose to move forward and make it happen and don't get bogged down with what they say about everybody generally. I'm not in a general group. I am me, myself, and I choose to believe and have faith in my walk, and that my walk is going to take me to a place where I can give and be able to continue to help others and to help my family and help myself personally without just dwelling in this darkness of we're never going to make it. We're going to be poor. The economy's going to break us. I don't choose that path.
I think those are people who allow monetary to control their lives to begin with. In my opinion, you know, just
Hmm.
my little small piece of the opinion of the planet. You know,
I did a what's it called, a binge yesterday. I did a binge. I'd never seen these Christmas movies before. I, sorry guys, am a Christmas girl, okay? I try to watch a Christmas, and when, you know, after Thanksgiving, I am watching Christmas movies, and I like new ones, right?
mhm.
And I had never seen this. The first one was called Marry Me for Christmas. And I really liked the writing and the storyline in this series. There was five of them, and actually a good half of the cast I knew personally. So I was like, ah, oh my gosh, you know, it was people that I
Right.
knew that are like from Chicago actors. And but it really dealt with that whole concept of what is meaningful in life, you
Mm.
know, what happiness means. And the character, the man in the movie, um I don't know the actor's name. I can't remember, but he was really, I loved his character because he was very, his mother raised him and he loved his
Ah,
family and he loved his mother, and his mother taught him, like for instance, his tradition was two gifts for Christmas. That's it. One for him and one for him to give away. That was his tradition.
hmm.
Whereas his wife, who was a great character, great person, was like, I want to buy for, you know, I want to buy our daughter. I'm going to give our daughter a circus, a petting zoo for her first birthday, you know, and like so many of us are, because we struggled as children and we're like, we're not going to allow our kids to struggle like that. I'm going to give them everything, everything, everything. And so they don't have a clue about what's important. you know. So it was a great, if you're like in the mood for something new, maybe I'm sure a lot of black folks have seen these movies. I had never seen them, but I'm not, they're
TV
old.
One, TV One usually puts out at least 5 new. Well, no, not new, but they play a lot of.
Well, this was on Prime, and Prime has like a whole section, and so does Netflix now. They're called Representation Matters, and so there's all these movies with people of color that are Christmas movies that we didn't see for the
People
longest
like
time.
Delroy Lindo, and I'm just thinking of some of the usuals. Natalie Desselle, she died last week. I loved her in Babs. I loved her in anything she played on the Eve show. You know what I'm talking about? The little short, chunky girl.
Yeah,
Played on Babs. Played on played with Howard.
Mm-hmm.
She passed last week. I was shocked to hear that. She was our age.
It's like I said. It's like I feel like I don't know. Maybe I hope no one takes offense at this, but I feel like it's like the rapture. It's just in an not the way we believed people were going to be taken away, but it just feels like that. It's just so many people are passing away.
A lot. Every day. They said this is more than World War II.
We've reached those numbers.
And
In a lot less time.
But you still got things are not going to turn around. First of all, people keep saying we're going to get back to a norm. What? No, there is no new norm. This is the new norm. It really is.
Well, what do you mean? What's the new norm?
The way things are now. I mean, wearing a
People
mask.
dying every day?
Not dying every day. I think the vaccine will curve it quite a bit once everyone gets it. But we're talking a year from now at least. What the hell is going to happen?
So it's kind of like after September 11th, right? How we never went back to,
Exactly.
right? You could just go to the airport, take your kid up to the airport door, and now forever since then we've been having to, if we do a carry-on, it can only have 2-3 ounces of liquids for each thing, and
it's a norm.
And it's normal now. Like my kid doesn't know it any other way. She was born in 2001, so she doesn't know any other way. That's the way it's always been for her to travel that way. So it became the new norm.
Remember when there was a big spike where people were spiking like aspirins, putting stuff in aspirin bottles, and then they came up with the and that's the norm now. If you see, what the hell is this? No.
Shoot, for that matter, seat belts. Remember, people were dying left and right in wrecks. They were just having brain damage and dying left and right. And they're like, oh no, we got to do the seat belt. And people fought it. Shoot, I fought it. I didn't want to wear no seat belt. It felt so uncomfortable to me. I didn't want to wear it. And now it's like I feel completely naked if I don't have a seat belt.
So that's what I'm saying. Trying to hold on to this norm. There is no more new norm. There is no more norm. This is the new normal. It really is.
Until
wearing the mask.
Until there's another new normal.
Exactly. But I'm just saying that it's people stop trying to,
fight change.
Right. Exactly.
Stop trying to fight change.
Yeah. This is the new norm. Just like the norm is for us 30 minutes in, we got to play some commercial.
We got to play a commercial break. That is the new norm. That is normal. That is normal. So y'all got to listen to this.
We'll be back in 3 minutes, y'all. Melanated Morning Show. Whoops. I'm over here tripping. We'll be right back, y'all.
The Melanated Morning Show. With DJ Kid Disco and co-host Cynda Williams. Grown Folks Radio. WGFB-FM Radio.
So are you ready? Yeah.
How it used to be. Something for everyone. everyone 24/7, 365.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Baskets after each use, reserving dedicated shopping hours for our most vulnerable guests, providing masks and gloves to our team members, and offering contactless shopping options through the Target app, like Drive Up and same-day delivery. We are here for you now more than ever, and your health and safety is our highest priority. Learn more at target.com/bullseye.
Okay, Facebook, thanks for tuning in. We are still here. We're just behind the scenes. You know how it goes. CC, hey, say hi to the people. While I go take care of some personal business, I'll be back.
Through America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer.
So Earl, what's up, man? What y'all
Amazon
doing?
is hiring near you.
Are you
Earn a
doing
competitive
anything,
wage and start as soon as 7 days. No.
I guess so. You can't hear me. I can't hear me. Are you doing anything special, or are you just gonna stay safe with your family at home? Anybody that wants to answer that question can. I'm doing the same thing we did for that we did for Thanksgiving, just the very tight little circle. I'm not seeing most of my family, unfortunately. I'm just seeing the people that I see all the time, and it's just like, I guess there's 10 of us, maybe 9 of us, but I'm a part of a Christmas concert, a virtual Christmas concert that my play brother Evan Lee, E Lee Vision, is putting out there. So I hope you guys check it out. I think it's coming out Tuesday. I don't know. I think it's coming out Tuesday. So you guys should definitely check it out. It's really great. My niece is singing, who has a gorgeous voice, and my daughter did a phenomenal monologue. So I sang, my partner sang, we all sang as a group. So it's gonna be fun.
How to get people to buy? How to get people just?
Whoops.
I have just the course for you. Please go to ShellyShellWilliams.com to find out more.
WGFB-FM radio.
So are you ready?
Yeah. How it used to be. Something for everyone. 24/7, 365.
Yo, what's good? This is Tracy Lee, and you already know I gets down with the get down, man. Grown Folks Radio all day.
Hi, everybody. This is Cynda Williams, and I am the co-host of the Melanated Morning Show and the host of the PPC Radio Show. And you are listening to Grown Folks Radio.
So, Cece.
Yes.
See Breeze, I want to share something with you.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick. I want to share something with everybody. Real quick. You're going to love this one. Let me see. And let's
Hi, my name is Cynda Williams, and I am so excited to bring you some great news. The Grown Folks Radio is going to be presenting the PPC Radio Show. Shelly Shell Williams and I are going to be co-hosting. We have DJ Joe Storm doing our uplifting music. We have CJ Julianis doing financial therapy. We have DJ Kid Disco, who is producing it all. We're also going to have phenomenal guests and some life coaches, therapists, spiritual leaders that are going to help us in our lives. I'm so excited. January 6th, 2021, 2 to 4 Eastern. Join us on the PPC Radio Show.
like it.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I gotta.
since we're doing commercials, we might as well do an important commercial. I mean,
Yeah.
they're all important.
Yeah. Did you put music to the audio ones yet?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I gotta get that stuff. Yeah, guys, I hope you guys join us January 6th from 2 to 4. Actually, January, I'm gonna kind of lay back from the Melanated Morning Show on Wednesdays so I can concentrate on PPC, start building that up. That is a self help platform. Shelly Shell Williams is going to be my co-host. DJ Joe Storm is doing uplifting music. CJ Julianis is going to do a financial therapy session once, at least twice a month. Crystal is going to do What's the Tea sometimes. She's going to come in for those of you that are interested in astrology and tarot. And then, of course, we're going to have phenomenal spiritual, religious therapists, leaders, life coaches coming on in the second hour to talk to us about practical ways to cope during these days and times. So, very excited. And DJ Kadisco is producing it. I'm sure every once in a while he'll say hi or we'll ask him a question, but most of the time he's just gonna be handling the tech side of things. He's just gonna take a break and do the tech and engineering and let us do all the talking.
I'm just the hired help on this one.
Yeah, so we're going to be building things up. I'm very excited about it. I've been talking to so many different people. Hey, Sophie just walked in.
Hey,
He said hi. You say hi. We're talking to all kind of folks, trying to get them to, therapists. I talked to my uncle. I'm excited. Both of my uncles agreed to be. One of them is a spiritual leader and a counselor, and the other one is a pastor, and one is a counselor solely, pretty much, and the other one is a pastor or a retired pastor, but he still counsels. And they're going to come on every once in a while to give practical advice about how to get through things, and from a biblical, well, probably both of them from a biblical point of view. And then I'm just very excited. What's her name? Tina Harmon is going to be our very first therapist guest. She's coming on January 6th, so it's going to be fun. I'm excited.
Oh, yeah. We didn't get the round of applause. I'm sorry.
You better come on with it, Mr. Producer.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Things I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, my stuff just.
Yes.
So, I do have a topic.
Okay.
Just a bit of a topic. Question.
Mm-hmm.
What attracts women to men and what attracts men to women? In other words, what part of the representative do you think people put out when they first meet?
What? Say that part again.
What part of the representative do you think most people put out? Do you think women put out a different put out their actual representative?
Oh, who they are?
Yeah.
Oh, it depends on the person, honestly. Some people are, their very appearance says who they are to especially to men. Men are so visual. They kind of make assumptions based on a person's physical appearance about who they are. Women It depends on the woman. It depends on what they are, what's important to them. Is
Mm-hmm.
how they represent themselves. Um, some women are just like, look, I am who I am. I'm gonna be this person right off the bat. And if you don't like me, I guess, you know what I mean? So sometimes they end up alone a lot because they don't put out that vibe of you know, vulnerability or softness that a lot of men are attracted to in women.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then, there are women who will pretend like they're, really sweet and soft and and then what really matters to them comes out. So I don't think it's a general thing, but I do. One thing that's general is that men tend to be attracted to first to the physical, and women tend to be attracted to, does this person seem like someone that can keep me safe? Uh, and it's changed about how people keep them safe. Meaning, in the back in the day, it used to be, can you keep me physically safe? Are you a big guy that can, fight a tiger for me? But now it's become, are you a guy that's got a job? And do you have what a job represents? So do you have the nice car? Do you have a home? Blah, 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 blah. Because that means that you have security and so that I can be safe with you. Um, a lot of women. But then things have evolved so much with women. A lot of women are their own breadwinners. They don't need a man to provide for them on a financial level. So then it becomes, are you going to keep me emotionally safe? Because I'm out here working like crazy to make my own money, so you don't have to worry about that. But I still need to be nurtured in a man woman way. I need to be hugged. I need to be kissed. I need to be made to feel like you adore me. Um, so we've evolved, and depending on where you are on that evolutionary ladder, when it comes to your needs, what you want from a man is different. So yeah.
Would you agree that the roles have changed between men and women?
I believe that we're balancing out. I believe that for quite some time, men were taught that they've got to be the breadwinners, let the woman take care of the kids, let the woman take care of the house. You make the most money and you just make sure everybody's fed and housed, and that's all you need to do. And then women were told to stay at home, blah, blah, blah. And I believe that it's balancing out. And because of the economy of our societies, especially in the Western world, we can't afford anymore to have just one person working. And so when women had to start going to work, that things started shifting because then women was like, okay, if I'm going to be working 40 hours a week too, and I may or may not make the same as you, depending on the position that I'm in, then why aren't you helping me at home more? Why aren't you spending more time with the kids? Can you nurture the children too? Can you go play games with them or take them to the soccer games? Why do I have to be everything? And some men have gotten to the point where it's like, I don't want to go out and work a 40-hour week. I'd rather spend my time with my kids and raising them right, like be the father that I didn't have. So I think things are shifting when it comes to identities of men and women. And I don't necessarily
Especially
think that's a
nowadays.
bad thing. Hmm.
Especially nowadays with COVID, I think a lot of roles have changed with the family period because you got everybody having to do certain, like the mother. And the way that it is now, a lot of essential workers nowadays are women,
Yeah.
not just in the healthcare field. Walmart workers,
They're
grocery
teachers.
store workers, teachers. A lot of them are frontline workers. We don't think about people like the garbage men and the mail delivery and the Amazon delivery people. Roles have changed. Roles have reversed.
Well, I don't know that they've reversed. I just think that they are shifting towards balance. I think more and more men are doing traditional things that women used to do, and more women are doing traditionally. Well, whereas it's just coming more towards a balance, and I think that's what the fight is. Honestly, the spiritual battle that's going on, because when you're in power, and let's say in this country, it's been the patriarchy has been in power for a long time, and the matriarchy is trying to come up, and that doesn't mean male or female. That means who's got the most power, and it's balancing out. The one that was in power is fighting that. I think that's why so many, I believe that what's his name was so President Trump was so effective with a certain group, because they were holding on to old ways when it comes to the patriarchy, not just racial things. It's more than racial. It's about white men being in power. And even some black people are more comfortable with white men being in power because it's all they've ever seen or known, and they believe that's the only way things can work out. That's why you turn on the TV sometimes and you see the black people out there, saying that they love Trump because he represents a patriarchal system, and they're not ready to let go of that. But it doesn't matter if they're ready to let go of it. It's going away. We
Whether
are
you like it or not.
we're balancing out. You know what I mean? And I have to admit, I love to see men taking care of their children. I love it. It turns me on. I love seeing my partner with his daughter and how much he loves her. And it's not just about discipline and you got to do this and it's also about giving her hugs and asking her what she thinks and what does she need, and nurturing her. And men are capable of doing that as well as any woman. And a woman is capable of going to work and making that money, and then coming home and hugging her kids and hugging her man. And I just think we're being forced to balance right now. And I think that part of all of this is a good thing.
In other words, God hit the reset button on the world,
Hmm.
made us all even. You got celebrities you got people from who's who to who that. Talking about they struggling.
Everybody's struggling. Even I don't know anything about wealthy wealthy people because I don't really know them. I have in the past, but I don't really know them that well. But I have a feeling that everybody's struggling emotionally to some point. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody knows somebody that has passed away. Everybody knows somebody that is sick. Everybody knows someone who has lost everything and doesn't know how they're going to survive. And I have known wealthy people that have lost it all before. Back when the recession hit in 2008, I know some people that were millionaires that lost it all and wanted to die. And literally, some of them did. Some of them committed suicide because they just didn't know how to live without their millions, you know? So I believe everybody is shifting and changing right now. And ultimately, that's a good thing. I don't think it's good to lose loved ones.
I
It's
remember in the
hard.
I remember in the past show you and I were discussing Robert De Niro was talking about how basically he was broke in his sense of the word broke.
His sense of the
And that,
word.
yeah, and
Hmm.
that his ex-wife was really taking him under. She was getting like I think like $5 million a month or something crazy like that. And well, no, he cut her. I remember what it was. He cut her credit limit off from 50,000 per month to like 5,000 a month, and he was broke because he wasn't making any movies.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I'm like, how is that broken? But then you broke it down like, well, for him, that's broke.
Hmm. It
You know,
is so relative. I mean, even in my own family, there are different levels of gain, or how much money we have. In my own, my insular family, my brothers and sisters and there's different levels of how much money we make. But every one of us is struggling. Some of us make six figures, some of us barely make anything at all. but we're all struggling where we are. You know what I mean? Because if you make six figures, then you probably own property for that. You probably own a lot. You probably have more things you got to pay for, because the more money you have, typically the more things you have to pay for, or more debt or whatever, because you've been able to afford it. But now all of a sudden it's like, you know,
There's no money coming in. There's no
for
big
some.
move. Yeah, there's no big concerts being given. There's no big movies being made. You
Well,
know,
when it comes to entertainment, yeah. When it comes to entertainment, it is very difficult. It is very difficult. And I mean, people are working. I know that for a fact. I just actually started working with a new agency in the Midwest. I've had agents in the out west, had agents in Chicago per se, in that market, but now I've also gotten an agent here in Indiana that is kind of like the Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana market. And they said people are working nonstop. We're working, you know. Might not make as much money, but people are working because what we do, people need. People need. I mean, I told you I did a binge yesterday of movies. You know,
right?
now I'm ready for the next slate of movies. Where's my next movie? You know, and a lot of people, because they can't go outside, especially this time of year, it's cold. I still go outside. I go get my walk on, right? But a lot of people aren't touching the cold. So what do? If they're readers, which most people aren't anymore, they don't. You know, they read. Some people play games. Most people don't anymore. They might play games on their little computer or on their phone, but most people are binging and watching television and watching movies. So what we do is important, but it's just
Yeah,
it's hard. I think next year is going to be a big movie year, a big movie television year. They need it. They need programming.
Would you do television?
If it's the right television, yes. If it's the right television, uh-huh. I don't want to play a doctor. I don't want to play a character where the person speaks in a language that I don't speak. I could be a therapist on TV. I could be a cop on TV.
Ah,
You know, I maybe even a judge. Judge doesn't have too much to say, usually listening. But I don't want to be a lawyer where I'm talking about, you know, statutes and all that crap. And I don't want to be a doctor where I'm talking about the you know, intra blah de beady boo in your tongue, you know, whatever the words they use. I'm not trying to learn a whole new language. I don't feel like doing that.
so how do you? Okay, Cinda, how do you get
Mhm.
into character?
It depends on the character, you know. I believe almost every story, and there are very few stories. I think they said it's 7 stories that happen in all storytelling. You know, 7 different basic stories that happen every time. So almost everything that happens in a movie, almost everything that happens in a movie, I can relate to in some
Mm.
way. But I don't do everything that's offered to me. I had that experience this week where one of my agents sent me something where there was some interest in me playing a role. Um, and I laid awake all night thinking about it because it was so far away. The character was so far away from me and my integrity and who I am and my belief system and my brand, to be honest,
Hmm.
that even though it was a big project, was a big television show, big producers, you would know the names. I had to call them back and I was like, you know what? I can't do this. I just, I won't do this because it's so far away from my brand, who I
What you believe
am.
in?
I'm sorry?
It was so far away from what you believe in. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
Hmm.
Wow.
And it's not that I judge anybody that would do the part. It's just not me. If I was just acting in my life right now, maybe. You know, if I was just an actress, you know, because I in the past I've played some roles that were awful characters, really, really awful characters. Uh,
Wow.
but now I'm doing more. You know, I am on the radio with you. I'm doing my podcasting. It's all about empowerment of the spirit, mind, and body. It's about empowerment So I don't want to play a character that is against that. You know what I mean?
So as an actress, you're far more evolved than Clark Bittercourt.
Well, I don't see anything wrong with Clark Betancourt. The most that Clark Betancourt would do is having sex, which all of us at one point or another do.
True.
So to me, there was nothing wrong with that. I mean, I was shocked by the nudity. Looking at myself on a screen the size of a freaking building, that was a little hard, you know. But we're all naked if we've got some kind of sense when we're making love. So that is not an issue for me. Love making that's not gratuitous. It's not gratuitous. But this role was a character that it was just totally against my belief system about how a person should be. Even though the character was not a bad person, they just made choices that I would never make. And I just
So let me
said
ask
no.
you this.
Mhm.
Let's say for shoots and giggles, somebody gave you a role, a script, and it was Clark at an older age.
Mhm.
Would you do it?
Sure, I just wouldn't do the nudity like that anymore.
No, but I mean, let's just say somebody decided to do a Mo Better 2 or something like that,
Mhm.
and Clark was involved some kind of way, and they wanted you, of course, who else to play her at the age you are now? Would you?
Of course.
Would you be able to pull
If
that
it's a good script, if it is saying something that's a positive, saying something. For me, it's all about an overall script. It's not just what my character does. I've been in movies before where I was desperate to work, where my character was fine, my character was nice and meaty and whatever, but everything else was weak. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm very picky about what the movie is saying, and I can play a negative character or a flawed character,
Okay.
but it just can't be so far away from my integrity that it's not a person that I don't. Roles are very influential to people. You can normalize uh things if people see it every day.
So, if you could play somebody in history, who would it be?
Mm. There is a woman that I'm embarrassed, but I can't remember her name. She pretended to be white. Um, she was from the South. She escaped West. She went to she ended up in like where San Francisco is, and she became one of the wealthiest people in this country. And then once she got herself established, then she started working with helping to free slaves. And she worked with all of those people. She was actually very close to Jim Brown. And she changed a lot of things. And then eventually she came out, and I'm Black, So I can't remember her name right now. If anybody's listening that knows who I'm talking about, let me know. That's a role
pull
that I
that
would.
off?
Yeah. Because
Like a white
remember
woman?
now, yeah, but I mean back then, when people didn't look like me back then. You know what I'm saying? They didn't, now you look at me and you're like, oh, that's a Black woman, or that she got something in her. But back
Yeah.
then, people either you were one or the other. Very few people were in the middle. So you could pull it off. They if you were light enough skinned, then yeah, you could pull it off. Yeah, I have a cousin who he is very fair. His eyes are blue, his hair is blonde, and he is Black. You know what I'm saying? And if you met him, you would assume now, you would go, oh, he got something in him. Because you can see it in his features, the shape of his nose.
Back then.
But back then, he's white. Back then, he's white.
I'm like, you know who you remind me of, actress wise?
Who?
Older actress, Lynette McKee.
I love her so much. I really love her so much. I met her,
Really?
yeah, when she did Jungle
Jungle
Fever.
Fever, right,
And
right.
remember, I was in that movie, and then they cut me out of it because Spike was mad at me. So they cut
You
me
was in
out.
that movie?
hmm I
I
was in
did
it.
not know that. I just learned something today.
That's because you never saw me in it because they cut me out of it after I finished shooting and everything. They cut me out. And
Wow.
and
I,
actually a good deal of what the characters, especially her, what her character says in the movie, were all my words because Spike interviewed me about being mulatto and being with white men, black, versus black
so
men.
that scene when they were sitting around having the sister girl click, that was you.
And
I'll,
then and of course I got no credit for that.
I'll be damned.
I mean, word for word, he didn't change nothing. It was my words exactly, which was very upsetting considering he knew I was writer. But
So what role
I
were
put
you
the fluff off.
supposed to play?
I was supposed to play his girlfriend. Originally,
Mike's
I was.
girlfriend.
Then he got mad at me for various reasons, and so he took that role away from me, and he ended up making me the secretary to Wesley. I was Wesley's secretary, and then
Wait a
we
minute, the one that he was with.
he would talk about his secretary all the time, but you never saw me because they cut all of it out. And
Wow.
then they used me in all the advertisements for the movie because I had done so well for Mo Better. So they used my images of me being in a movie for all the ad stuff. But then when the movie came out, I wasn't in it. They completely cut me out. The only thing is you would hear them talking about me. And but you never
Wow.
saw me. And Spike Lee, as a parting gift, gave me a watch, which symbolizes retirement. So it was kind of funny. But anyway,
Wow. I
a
never
lot.
knew that.
Yeah, I haven't talked about it a lot, but it was
I
it
did
was
not know you was in Jungle Fever.
yeah. Nobody knows. I still get residuals, even though I wasn't. I was cut out of it.
Get out of it. So what's it like to? What's Lynette McKee like? I love her.
She's awesome. I love her so much. She was just a beautiful, beautiful woman, inside and out. So talented. But my favorite part about her was her musical a bit, her singing voice. She was a composer and a lyricist. Her
Really?
music, oh yeah, love. She put an album out after Jungle Fever. That was beautiful. And there was this song, I can't remember, but it had to do with birds. I would listen to this song over and over and over again. It just moved me because it was like she got into my head, that whole song, um how the composer, it's like they read your mind to write the song. That's what it was like. But she's so amazing. I would love to play a relative to her. She's a
I did.
beautiful woman.
I did not. I'm still stuck on that you were in Jungle Fever. I did not know that.
hmm
You holding out on me, Sea Breeze? I didn't know that.
It's not something I'm talking about. I was cut out of it. Why? What is there to say?
Good answer.
I was not in that movie,
Good
and
answer.
you know, so
Real quick program note: we're not going to go to commercial because we're going to go right to the 45 mark of the hour because we're going to go to music later than earlier, like we was doing. Play some Christmas tunes and all that, and so we're just going to keep on going right about now. Right about now. So, who do you think? Because I know a movie's going to come out about COVID.
oh, a bunch of movies. A bunch of movies are already in
In the
production about
works.
COVID. Yeah,
So you think some
some
are about
some
some?
realistic, some like almost documentary style,
Mhm.
some fantasy. There's gonna be so many.
So you think something's coming out about the Trump presidency?
Oh gosh, yes. Of course, it's too much drama in there not to make a movie about it. Of course.
Well, you write scripts. Could you write one?
About him? No. Not
Really?
interested. Nah. I like my the things that I write to be empowering and positive. I don't like dwelling on negative things. So.
On that kind of stuff. I got you. I got you.
I want to say hi. I don't know if she still is, but my cousin Bridget is tuning in. Hey, cuz, what's up, chick? I love you. Thank you for watching.
I believe that is my. Speaking of cousin, that is my cousin right there, Dinetta. Yes, that is her. Hey, you know, we've been getting a lot of support lately. Sea Breeze.
We're coming. It's coming.
It's coming. It's a coming. It's a
It's
coming.
coming.
Program note also. You'll see Sea Breeze and myself. Philly Beauty is unavailable tomorrow, so there will be no live show tomorrow. Sea Breeze and myself will be here Wednesday, and then Thursday is Christmas Eve, so and Friday is Christmas, so.
But on Friday, I will still be releasing my podcast.
Yeah.
It will be my Christmas podcast, so still be looking out for that. If you're sitting at home, just chilling, listen to my. It probably won't be a long one, maybe 15 minutes at most. The one I had last week was the longest one I've ever had. It was it was like 30 minutes. But there was a couple of songs in there.
Oh, with Dr.
Dr. William
Yeah.
William E. Smith, yeah. And that was a great one. But the one that's coming up this week is just me. It's my solo. And I'm gonna play a song from, do you remember Danny Pickering?
Yes.
Danny Pickering, he and his wife have done a lot of Christmas music, so I'm doing one of his songs, featuring one of his songs, and I'll feature a story from PPC book, the second one that's still not come out, and that's where we're going.
So, the Melanated Morning Show after Wednesday will not be back live until Monday, that following Monday. But Saturday, don't forget, y'all, tune in, Single on the Saturday Night Radio, Zoom edition. Well, it's still radio. Yeah, we're on the radio, but, live edition. Shelly Show. Hey. Every fourth Saturday of the month. So that would be the 26th. And Sea Breeze and I will be back on the 27th, 28th. That's next Monday. And Joe Storm's supposed to be here today. I don't know what happened to Joe.
He might be busy. He's a working man.
Yeah. So we'll be back Monday, and then Philly Beauty and I will be back next Tuesday, which will be the 29th. And I think she's going to do the What's the Tea, I think. And we may go a little bit further into the conversation we were having about the LBG.
TQ.
Yeah. There's another one. I don't want to say it wrong.
Yeah, it's just the alphabet.
I said the alphabet gang. Yeah. But we got into it deep, and eventually you're going to meet our house DJ for the show now, DJ Lisa Love. She's a part of that community. Very, very good friend of mine. She's open lesbian, gay, beautiful soul. I can't wait for y'all to meet Beautiful Soul. Beautiful.
Very cool.
You will love her. So, I saw something. Well, not I saw something. I heard something yesterday. Shelly Shell was doing, was involved in a toy drive yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Toy giveaway. And she mentioned something yesterday. I was on the phone with her while she was doing it. Shout out to Shelly Shell and her sister Monica, Monty on the scene. And I was like, well, is it busy? Because it sounds, you know how you talk on the phone with somebody you can hear. And I was like, yo, is it really, really busy? She was like, it damn near triple.
Mm-hmm.
She said usually they do maybe about 25 to 50 people. She said it was well over 200 people.
People don't have anything.
They actually ran out of stuff to give away.
Hey, Monty.
It was just that
She just joined us.
Oh, did she?
Hmm. I heard it was a great success, and it's something, man. People don't have money, man. This is a tight one. My William Lee has Guiding Light, his nonprofit, and thank you, Earl.
Hey, Earl, thanks. Hey,
And
Monty.
there's
Oh, Monty.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Monty on
hmm
the scene. There you
hmm
go, right?
yeah, and people need help this year. They need help, but you know what? It's interesting. I was talking to William Lee about it because he has all these relationships with different vendors and different people that donate to his yearly gatherings for those in need, and he found that some of the people that he was working with are even more generous than before, which is a beautiful thing. But then he also found the opposite. There's some vendors that are like so tired they just don't care and aren't giving anything, and they would rather just throw away their product that they don't use, because that's what they do. A lot of these people, if they don't sell it, they throw it away. It goes in a big bin. Food, clothing, toys, any of it. Remember the island of misfit toys?
Mm-hmm.
There's a trash bin of misfit stuff that so many people could use, but they're too lazy and frustrated and tired to do what they need to do to make sure it gets in the hands of those that would need it. So it's tough. It's a tough year.
Yeah, I wasn't shocked. It was just, when I was talking to Shelly about it, I'm like, damn. I said, I'm going to mention that on the air. First of all, I think it's a great thing that they did. That they served well over 200 people.
Hmm.
But for her to say, well, we normally don't do that. We only do like maybe 30 to 50 people at the most. And I'm like, wow, that's really a sign of the times. It's
The
really.
needs, man. I mean, food. It's in the richest country in the world. How many people don't have food in their refrigerator? How many people don't have food in their pantry left because they have eaten it all? They have used it up. There's no supplies left.
I'm just keeping it real, I mean, but we're Carmen and I are blessed because it's just us. We're empty nesters. No kids are running around.
It's
It's
totally
just,
different.
it's just me smoking my marijuana, so I need some extra pep, But for the most part, we're good. But I'm gonna be real with you about something. I think if we had a couple of kids running around here, somebody would be some hungry asses because it's tight out there. It really is.
It really is. I mean, I can honestly say that I have worked less this year than I ever have in my career, in my adult life.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I am constantly working, I am constantly creating, but it's all on spec. You know what I mean? I do a whole lot of work for free.
I'm
But
one check away from a ski mask, like for real.
yeah, it's serious out there. You know what I mean?
As
But
a as a DJ, it's all but dried up.
mhm.
Ain't nobody having events, and if they are having events, where they having them at?
Shoot, during Christmas season, that was like a lucrative time for me. I'll be singing everywhere. I haven't sung anywhere since 2019.
Because it's just that dried up. It's
There's nothing. Nobody's doing anything because nobody got it. But that's where we come to what we were talking about when we first started the show. It's like, where's your mind though? Are you going to give up and just say, well, that's just the economy and I'm never going to have anything? Or are you going to say, okay, let me be creative and figure out another way? Because if that 1% got it and are getting it, there's a way I can too. I just got to keep on trying and keep on working, keep my head up, stay positive.
Thank you,
And
James. He says great. I'm sorry, James Patterson says a great conversation. Thank.
hi, my friend. How you doing, James?
I
Yeah.
remember we had that discussion in detail, Sea Breeze, about what are we going to both do because both of us was pretty much in the same boat.
Mhm.
when we met when COVID first started, I'm a DJ. Ain't nobody hiring no DJs to do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no venues open to hire a DJ
Right.
live.
Well, I was fortunate this summer, when things opened up, I
Yeah,
worked a lot. I worked a lot, in a couple of months, but that was it.
I'm gonna turn around. I'm going to go film.
Yeah,
Yay!
yeah, I had a really good summer. Thank
Yeah.
God. I worked nonstop. I don't know how many projects, maybe 4 or 5 things I did. I was really blessed, but you know, it's 4 little projects, as beautiful as they are and exceptional as they are for my career possibilities, don't pay enough to live an entire year.
I remember when you was breaking it down to me that
Unless your name is Kevin Hart or Taraji or somebody big like that, they're getting all the roles that, and I don't mean this the hard way, people that they're taking the smaller roles because ain't no big production works going on no more. Unless you're on Tyler Perry's set.
Well, I don't think people on their level, those 2 people you mentioned, they are doing the smaller roles. I'm not talking about them. I don't think they're doing the smaller roles. They're still doing big roles. But the people that like right under them, that you may recognize their face but not know their name, but they work all the time. They are doing roles that they wouldn't do before, like they're in the movie the whole time, but they say 3 lines.
Uh,
Because yeah, because work is work right now, and everybody is having a hard time.
I've seen people reinvent themselves doing all kind of stuff that I never thought. Like I said, I know a DJ in particular who, in the summertime, opened up a catering business. In fact, there's another DJ I'm thinking that he's going to come to the show one day, DJ Cutlass. He has this thing that he got called Cooking for Cutlass. And the man can cook. He really can. I've eaten some of his food. Big time DJ, but because it's dried up, he had to reinvent.
Hmm.
Look at me. A year ago, I got to be honest with you, I didn't think I would have my own morning show like this. I was still dipping and dabbing in radio, but not to this degree. So I had to reinvent myself, doing Zoom parties and doing more podcast production work like the PPC podcast,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I certainly wouldn't ever. A year ago, I wouldn't. Well, a year ago, I was like, 2020 is gonna be my year. I mean, I had so much stuff slated to happen. I had so much work. It was gonna take my life a completely different direction in a different way, and then boom, this happened. And you just that's why you can't be attached to anything that you think, because life just takes you where in other directions. And I don't necessarily know that that's a bad thing. It's just I I'm not going to try to get too religious, because that's not this platform, but you just got to believe that God knows better, that you're just living one little puzzle piece. You can't see the rest of the puzzle. And you got to just keep knowing that that completed puzzle is beautiful, and it's better than anything you imagine. And so you just, either you can think that way, or you can think, it's an ugly puzzle, and I'm gonna die alone, sad and poor, you know. Or you can think, you know what, I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's gonna be wonderful. I'm gonna have abundance, and I'm gonna share it with everyone I touch. You got to pick, it is a choice how you believe. And I promise you, what you believe is what is creating in your frontal lobe, and what it, that faith, that mustard seed faith, is going to bring about. You got, I've been listening to, thanks to Dr. William E. Smith, Joe Dispenza again. I used to listen to him all the time, and he's from the scientific point of view of what happens based on how you think. how your brain changes based on how you think, and when you pray or meditation, basically you change your world with the way you think. Physically, it changes your brain physically with the way you think. And I believe the reason why that 1% stays wealthy is because they don't see themselves any other way. They don't see themselves as poor. They don't see themselves as lacking. They just know, because it's their experience, that they're going to be okay. And as a group of people, we have to start changing our thoughts that way. We have to start having that faith, you know?
Jermaine Quick, what up? My man Dante Diesel, he's a actor himself.
Hmm.
A couple movies.
Everybody trying to work, man.
Yeah,
Everybody.
unless I've worked too. People getting paid for the.
Yes, virtual platform. Listen, this is good. This is going to go back to what we was talking about, Sea Breeze. The new norm is virtual. Zoom. This time last year, most people had never even heard of Zoom.
I hadn't.
Point exactly. Now it's the norm. It's just as norm as cell phones.
Yep. All these
Everybody's
different
zooming it.
platforms. Everybody's zooming it. That's how I got to at least see my father's face before he passed away, because we started doing Zoom with him and my mom. By March, we were doing Zooms with them every week. And because we couldn't see them, we didn't know what was happening. We didn't know if any of us had COVID. We didn't want to take a chance. My father, at that point, we thought he was still in remission and with his cancer, so we didn't want to take the chance. So the only way we could see him was by doing Zoom. And my father was just like that stereotypical old man. It's like, what is this?
My mom was like that. It would have took forever
for her to figure Zoom out.
Yeah, what is going on? I don't know. Susan, his wife. Susan, what is this? What am I supposed to do? But he figured it out. We all figured it out. We had to. My sister, I know my sister and my brother Fred, Sadika and Fred, they already knew Zoom and all of that because they did it with their companies. But the rest of us were figuring it out, and now it's just normal. We figuring
It's funny because people like myself and Joe, we actually met on Zoom, but that was like a year prior to the pandemic. So we was already Zooming. I had been doing the original podcast version of the Melanated Morning Show through Zoom. We would meet on Zoom. So I had been Zooming for a while. It's just funny to me that I had been saying for at least 5 years that the internet controls the planet, and I kept saying that there comes a time. I've been saying to someone, Sea Breeze, is almost eerie. I've been saying eventually it's going to get to a point where the internet is going to basically, our lives are going to be done through the internet. Now, I had no idea that I'm not on no The Simpsons type of shit. I didn't think in a million years that an actual pandemic or virus or whatever would bring us to this point. But I just knew that the evolution of the internet. Like, I had been watching podcasts before the average black person, I hate to say that, knew what a podcast was. To this day,
many still don't know what a podcast is.
I know. I was going to say, to this day, I have to explain to people what a podcast is or what it is as compared to, because when I first started the Melanated, it was going to be just that, a radio show. And people kept saying, oh, it's a podcast. You know what? You want to be a podcast? Fine. Let it be a damn podcast. I mean, people don't get...
Radio and podcasts are different.
They are. But trying to explain it to some people is like...
Yeah, that's okay. Just do it. And they'll eventually learn, or they won't. Nobody cares, right?
Right. Exactly. That's my point.
The way that we've had to reinvent ourselves on the whole is just amazing, to the resolve of people, because we had no choice. You got people doing jobs that they would have never thought that they would be doing. You have people who were CEOs or whatever, because that company folded, now they're packing bags at the supermarket. So many norms are changing. Speaking of supermarket, that's a norm that's changing in certain states. You're not allowed to have plastic. You have to bring your own bags to bag up your groceries. They're not allowed to give out plastic bags anymore. There's certain areas where you can't even get plastic forks and spoon. I mean, yeah, and you can't get the styrofoam.
Yeah, because it's really bad for the planet. It's really bad for the oceans. Yeah, and it's really bad for all those places where the pile of garbage is just filling. And the thing is, plastic, it just takes a very long time to break down. I think a couple, at least 100 or 200 to 250 years. I heard, read. I don't know. It
But how
takes a
many
very long
people
time.
actually still wash plates? How many? Because I know in my house, paper plate, we be paper. Boy, if they had disposable pots and pans, we use.
We wash dishes every day.
Washing dishes.
It to me, it's just such a waste. It's such a
Okay.
waste.
Let me put it another way. My wife works all day. Do you really want my blind ass washing your dishes? And
Well, that's what a dishwasher's for.
we don't have a dishwasher. So do you really want me washing your dishes? I'll
It
wait.
really, it really takes a physical. You can feel if something
True.
is clean as
This is
long
what
as you got hot water and soap.
and some good little dab of bleach. You know, that's the black.
You don't got. You don't got to see.
Nah, we do. I just that's less. We do a lot of paper because we don't do a lot of cooking here. My wife will cook on Sunday. That's the best you're getting out of her. During the week, she come home because she gets up so early in the morning. And I'm home.
No, I get it. When you don't have kids around and all that kind of stuff, your eating habits change. I mean, honestly, when Sophia was away to school and everything, and William and we eat very differently. He's, pretty vegetarian, and I need some protein. I haven't completely cut that out yet, but I'm eating more plant-based stuff than anything else now. Well, we still eat different times. We have different schedules, but I still try to at least make a couple of meals that I can eat on all week. Just because it's just healthier. I don't eat out. I don't order out. I don't trust it. I rather cook at home, and it's just simple though. It's simple stuff, but I always use a real
Yeah,
cook.
James. I'm sorry. I think it was New Jersey that I was hearing that about. That Jersey that the governor.
Well, it's I don't know if it's like this in Jersey, but you have to pay if you want. I know in Chicago it's been this way for a while. I know in California it's this way. If you want bags, you have to pay for them. You have to pay every time. It's like how Aldi's is. If you want bags at Aldi, you got to buy them right
Yeah,
there.
that's how it is. No, actually, but the one I'm talking about, you're not allowed to. They're not allowed to give them out. Period.
So they've changed it like that. Yeah. See, it was a way to tax people basically. Buy you're gonna use plastic, then you got to pay. So now they're not. Now they're making it so they don't have any.
Yeah,
That's gonna become the new norm. You know what I mean? It is, and I have about 50, 50 recyclable bags. I honestly need to use them more. I usually only use them if I go to Aldi's, but most of the time I don't go there. So I need to just remember to bring them when I go shopping.
Do you like Aldi's food?
Some of it. I don't buy everything from there. Some produce. I'll get my produce from there. I go to multiple stores to shop. I'll go to there's a store called Myers. I'll go to Myers for certain things. I'll go to Walmart for certain things. I go to Aldi's for certain things. But they're all around each other. It's like a radius of stores, and it makes it more work, but it's more affordable because certain things are less expensive at others. Certain things are better quality at others. You know.
Yeah, the price is good at Aldi's, but the quality, you gotta be careful.
It depends.
Now,
Like I said, you can't mess up produce really. all the and they have a lot of organic. They have a lot of organic stuff.
Yeah.
So it depends on the Aldi. There's the old Aldi, and then there's a new Aldi. The new Aldis are like Trader Joe's. They're a lot clean, a lot newer stuff. But it depends on what you're buying. Money says that you can't buy bags anymore. You got to come with your own bags. You can't, they don't have the bags
Yeah,
anymore.
here in Pennsylvania, you can't. Well, it depends on where you go because you save a lot. We just went the other day and they still give up. But they're getting ready to change. No, that is getting ready to become the new norm that you can't buy bags. You have to bring your own bags. That they're
But
not
they do sell recyclable bags though, right?
certain places. Certain places don't sell anything. Like you're not going to give any bags from there. You have to bring your own bags.
Hmm. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen that. It's like the stores that they push
Right,
you.
Jermaine, save a lot.
They get. I guess you. So I should bring my Walmart bags to save a lot. Is that what it is?
You got to bring whatever bags, and you
Mhm.
got to bag it up yourself. That's crazy.
I don't know. I don't know how crazy it is. If you've got recyclable things that are of that are recycled already. I don't. It's uncomfortable. It's inconvenient. But I don't know if it's bad. It's just again another new normal. You got to do things sometimes to protect things. You know what I mean? And if we're using up too many trees, that's why they stopped doing the paper bags, and we're filling landfills with plastic that doesn't go away for hundreds of years, or it gets in the oceans and kills all the animals. Then we got to do the thing that's uncomfortable and inconvenient. But because honestly, once you get in a habit of bringing your own bag, say, it's just a new habit that is just the new normal. You'll be our ages. I remember when, we could talk about how it used to be, but
I remember when you didn't have to use your area code to call
yeah,
somebody.
exactly. I remember when you didn't have a cell phone. I remember when somebody could listen in on your call on the other line.
Woo! Mama catch you talk about some stuff you had no
Right?
business. It
Are
just
you on that phone? Get off that phone. What you talking about on this phone? You talking to a boy on this phone? No privacy whatsoever.
I remember when you wanted to sneak and your little girlfriend was calling you after hours. You would pick up the phone, you would call time or call the weather, and then have her click in at that very time. So when it clicks over, your mom will hear her call.
Wow, I've never heard of that one.
Yeah.
I never heard it. I remember when call waiting first started.
I remember that too.
Remember that? I was like, oh my gosh, somebody else is calling in. Hold on.
Now, the person who created caller ID, this is a true fact, was a black woman. It's thick. It's thick. Only a black woman gonna come up with some shit like that. Because men lying, I'm over such and such house. No, you ain't, Negro. Who the hell is Susie Q? Like, shit, they got this new caller ID thing. I remember that emphatically because it actually almost got me killed messing around with three chicks at the same time.
You remember maps? Remember when we used to have to use maps to get somewhere?
Yeah.
Paper maps. Open it
You
up.
had to pull it out, and it took you forever to be able to put it back together.
And if you were like me, maps meant nothing because you didn't know what north, south, east, or west was.
I was one of those people. I'm like, okay, so I'm looking at this and that.
Only place I knew how to get around was Chicago because it was on the grid. Chicago, not the north side of Chicago. Most of Chicago is so easy to find where you're going because you got the lake to show you which direction. You got these landmarks to show you. But the other places, man, LA was.
But GPS had been out for years.
Yeah, I remember when my father always got new electronics as soon as they came out. My father was the first person I knew with a car phone. I remember that great big old car phone. I was like, my father was the person I knew with a Walkman. Remember Walkman first came out?
Now I gotta admit, I was one of the not the Walkman itself. Not just the FM. Remember, it was just the FM
Yeah,
receiver.
my
I
father
was
had
one of
all
the,
that.
but I remember I was the first ones, one of the first ones around the way to have the one with the tape recorder with the tape deck, and you walking around.
Yeah, my dad was that guy. He always got. My father was a very generous man. He was very generous. He shared his money because he worked 3 jobs all the time, you know. But he always made sure one, he had a new car every 2 years, and he always got the new technology as soon as it came out. He would always
That
have it.
my mom was the exact opposite. We was the last crib on the block. Like, damn, y'all still using pliers to turn your TV? Negro, we got remotes now. Hey man,
Yeah.
we was I'm telling you, we were the last, probably the last house in Philadelphia to get cable. Everybody else got cable. They watching Tyson fight parties. I mean, it's some bullshit. I'm still
Yeah,
watching.
when my parents split, everything changed because, although my father would try to still get us stuff, I remember Laserdisc. Remember Laserdisc?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. We had a Laserdisc player and the whole year that it meant something. Remember, it only lasted like
It's like Betamax.
it was done. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I was
Remember
like, wait a minute.
Laserdisc and Betamax? Like
Hmm.
that was a
In
bad
and
idea.
out. In
Yeah,
and out.
that,
Gone.
that was a bad idea. Like Chia Pets. That wasn't a good.
People still have chia pets.
They do?
Yeah, they do.
They
They
still
still
sell
sell
them?
them. People, that is the ugliest thing I have ever seen. Why you gonna mess up a plant with an ugly face? I
I
don't
never
understand that.
understood the whole concept of a Chia Pet. It's like remember the sea monkeys?
Yeah.
Used to be able to get them in the back of the comic book. Comic books is something that you don't see.
Well, they still have plenty of stores. It's like those people that buy records. There's always going to be a niche market. Exactly. There's always going to be a niche market of people that will always be true to the records, to the comics, to the different things that, like me, I stopped finally buying CDs, but I have like I don't know how many thousands of CDs. Whenever I would work, because CDs came in when I started working. So that's how I would pay myself when I would work. I would have to budget because I never knew when I was going to get another job. So I would have to budget my money. But how I paid myself was within books and CDs. So I had music galore on CDs, and it took me a long time to stop buying CDs. Um,
Nowadays, you can just download the music from anywhere.
That's what I'm saying. It don't make no sense to take up space. But then at one point I was thinking in a very bleak way, and I was like, well, keep all your CDs because it might come a day. I've watched too many movies. There might come a day where there is no way to get the streaming. Maybe the power shut down. Maybe so I gotta keep my CDs so I can, listen to my music. I don't know. Like I said, I watch
That's something. It's funny you say that. I said that about cryptocurrency, and I'm a big uh, proponent of cryptocurrency. I believe in. If those y'all wondering what is cryptocurrency, I know you see where you could pay with bitcoins and that kind of stuff. And I was actually getting into mining and all that stuff at one time, but I kept saying in the back of my mind, what happens if technology just, if we actually had
exactly.
the 2Y, remember when 2YK and everybody y'all went out and bought bottles of water and duct tape and potted meat and all that shit and plastic because the world, but what if that actually does happen?
Hey, the way things have changed so quickly. I mean, I don't think I think it's smart to prepare just in case. Because you just never know. Stuff is happening left and right. And honestly, what's in the movies typically eventually happens. What's in sci-fi?
Yeah, because we're actually living through an episode of Outbreak
Yes.
with Dustin Hoffman and
They've been making these movies in preparation for this stuff. They've been trying to warn us back behind the scenes, and in a way. So I pay attention to this stuff. I mean, I don't live my life in a paranoia. I don't walk around, thinking that somebody's going to get me. But at the same time, I'm not going to not be prepared just in case. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between, it's like insurance. I have faith. I believe that God is taking me where, but maybe God's path for me is to take me through a virus. Maybe that's part of the plan. Make me strong or make me better or take me home, you know? So to be prepared is not a bad thing. To live in fear is not a good thing, but to be prepared, I think makes sense. And I pay attention to these sci-fi movies because I'm like, okay, what they telling us about now? It's so funny. The Stand by Stephen King is
Mm-hmm.
my favorite Stephen King book. It's my favorite Stephen King book. I the first time I read it, I think I was in high school, and then I read it again when I was in college, and then I read it again when I was in my 20s because I always found something new. I mean, it's super long, but my favorite book. And they made a series out of it. Now they've done a new series. It's
Okay.
on CBS Access. Yes, it comes out one episode a week. It's 9 episodes, and it is about this. It's
Mm-hmm.
about this. Exactly what we are going through right now. It's about this. The world, 90, I mean, it's much worse. It's much worse than this, but it's like 99% of all population is killed by a man-made virus. And and then it's the people that are left, the people of the light, and then the people of the dark that are left, and then they have to make a stand. So who is going to take humanity forward? It's deep. And mhm, the first episode was pretty good. Was good. So, but all that stuff is like been talked about. It's been talked. Almost everything in a sci-fi movie that takes place on Earth, you know, has happened.
It's I shudder to think. I mean, it's nothing to really think about now because it's over with. They're doing some crazy last minute stuff, but it's not going to work. But I truly shudder the thought of what if this fool hadn't got reelected. And I'm gonna tell you something. As ignorant and as ruthless as it might have seemed with Nancy Pelosi playing games, I truly believe, it's just my belief system, that had Trump got reelected, I mean, had there been a stimulus check package done before the election, I think he would have got reelected. I
Wow.
really do. I think that people would have saw it as, oh, he's the savior that he professed to be. I truly
I,
do. But
I'm not sure that is why. My thought would be, whenever people are comfortable, they don't care about change. You know what I mean? But the thing about it is, $1,200, the $1,200 that we got at that time, I really appreciated it,
it didn't
but
do.
it didn't do nothing. And this $600
It's going to do even less.
is gonna do. I mean, I'm thankful. I will take it, but I gotta take that $600 and say, okay, do I pay on some of this rent that's late? Do I pay on some of the utilities that are late? Or do I pay for food? Do I pay for gas? What do I pay for with this $600? $600 is a blessing, but it ain't gonna change this situation. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. Because the
I,
people that going to vote for him did. Most people that didn't vote for him, that changed the trajectory of things, were young people, were people that had never voted before, you know, and I don't know if 1,200 or $600 would have changed that.
I think it would have it gave a different perception of him. Now, I did hear from quite a few millennials who are voting for the first time ever, and it just so happens that they are turning the legal voting age right before the Georgia election.
But they got 76,000 more people on the roads. 76,000 more since the presidential election.
I think if I were to give a prediction, and I haven't been wrong yet, but I hope that I'm not wrong on this one, but I believe that the Democrats are going to win because of the change there's a trend going on. I truly believe that there is going to be a blue wave where you're going to have a blue Senate, a blue House, and a blue White House. Now, you got control, Democrats. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to be on some dumb stuff? Because the Democrats are on some bullshit, too. I'm not going to relieve them from being responsible because I'm holding them accountable, too. I really am. But they're not as blatant as the GOP is. I mean, if you watch Fox News, oh my God, the stuff that is laughable. I'm reading what James Patterson said. Contagion.
He was talking about the movie Contagion and how everything in that movie happened. Yeah, there's a lot of them, and there's a lot of movies that weren't made in the U.S. that were made in China, that were made in other countries. That predicted
Look at The Simpsons.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they called Trump's presidency
to a letter.
As a matter of fact, if you watch movies from the 80s and they're always talking about Trump being president or even Hillary Clinton running. They talk about it. Yeah. It's all predicted. Everything that has happened was predicted.
Here's the funny thing. I can remember, and I was actually looking at a documentary about Trump yesterday on CNBC. And they were right. Back in the 80s and 90s and whatever, if you look at hip hop, Trump was considered a likable guy.
Mm-hmm. He's in all kind of songs.
But nobody took him serious. They was always like
serious as a money man because they believed his lies about how much money he was worth. You know what I mean?
It turns out that was one big lie. You know, as Maury says, the lie detector determined that was a lie. But like now, everybody's a judge, everybody's a mayor, you know. And remember back when Arnold became governor?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, well, damn, what's happened there? You got moved. But and there's like, even before then, you had Reagan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the rules but now you have actually reality stars who have become president.
Yeah, because people are so tired of politics being the way they are. They want change. And so people know these stars. They know who they are. They think they know them at least. So that's why they're popular. So it's popularity contest now. Not so much choosing people because of their background, their knowledge, their expertise, their skill. It's okay. Well, I like them on TV, so I need something different because what was happening then is not making sense anymore, and I gotta have change. So let me just vote for this person. Maybe they'll do something better. I hate to break this up, but we are at 11:50.
Ooh.
And we're gonna have to shut it down. I really have enjoyed talking today, and I've seen my cousin Jomo. Hey man, join me. Thank you so much for joining us today, because I'm surprised you didn't have any comments.
And you know what? I want to make this disclaimer real quick, Sea Breeze, because you have been asking me to do this for a couple months now. We're going to start calling, so folks can call in and talk to Cynda Williams. Probably after the new year, we're going to start that.
Yeah, so you guys will be able to call in with your comments and questions. But we're going to make this clear right now. We're not going to let nobody take over the show, okay? So there will be a limited amount of time that you can talk.
Right.
So we can, get your comment, get your questions, so we can expound upon it and relate to you, because we care about your thoughts. And we'd love to hear your voices.
We got to get ready to sign off, but real quick, can y'all
Thank you, Jomo.
say hello to somebody who's getting ready to come in because we got some other stuff to talk about. But real quick, I'm just going to let her in. Look at that face right there. Look at that gorgeous face right there. Money don't money, money don't money. So y'all, we get ready to sign off because we got to do some stuff, and some stuff got to be done, and all that little good stuff, and
Oh, all this time I thought y'all could hear me. I was
we
like,
can hear us saying.
I was saying hey to Cynda and everything, and I'm like,
hello.
I was at the door. I'm sorry.
Hey, why money?
Hey, why money?
That's my picture up there. I ain't start the video. I think my picture look better than me right now.
Hey, well, it's all good. It's all damn. Yeah, she got that. I just woke.
No, she does not.
I've been up. I did some run around 8 o'clock this morning, and
She got her old lady glasses on, y'all.
I know because
I got mine on every day. All day, or I can't see nothing. So
I get exactly me too. Y'all would be a blur right now if I didn't have them on.
So listen, y'all, we gotta get ready to sign off. Everybody say hi to Money Dope, Money Dope.
Oh my God, I'm on. Oh
yes.
God, I need to put that picture back up.
It
was just us.
It's about to be.
It's about to be. It's about to be. Y'all, thank you for coming in. Jumbo, yes, comments will be great. We're gonna start that in the new year, so y'all can call in, and I hope you tell everyone to join us in the conversation because we gotta communicate right now, right? So don't forget, PPC podcast this week, Friday on Christmas Day. I'm dropping my last episode of the first season. Check it out. Thank you for joining us, everyone.
And look what Earl said.
That's a wrap.
Later, y'all. Don't forget, no live show tomorrow. I'll just be on Wednesday for like a half hour, play some Christmas songs.
Wednesday we don't.
I'm in Thursday. I'm sorry, I'm in Thursday. Christmas.
Yeah, we'll see you Wednesday. So please come back.
Me and See Breeze will be back. Yeah,
we'll be
but
back.
no Philly Beauty until I think next week. She might pop on for a little bit. She got a lot of cooking and stuff. Whatever. All right, lady.